Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is a sort of classic of mine. I've said this a million times before. We're going to be doing a 25 PED mining run on none other than Amathra, however you pronounce that continent. We're basically doing it at Lorfat's Prize, which is like a nice little area to I've had some luck here mining, and you can also get some like decent hunting done here if you're looking for a for some like level 17. What are these guys? Bow run or whatever. Yeah, there's a good spawn of them here. I'm just gonna sort of run around that spawn, drop some probes, and see if we can't get some good loot. So I'm not. I'm not sure 100% when I'm going to be releasing this video. I'm filming it early, like I always, like I do a lot of the time. But I think it's going to be released on the 26th of December. So with that in mind, I hope all you guys had an amazing Christmas. I hope you got all the gifts that you wanted, all your dreams came true. Hope you got to meet family and just had a good time, ate too much, and took it easy. So yeah, like belated. I think I did do a Christmas run. I'm not sure. Like I'm trying to pre-record a lot of this stuff because I'm going to be on vacation. So like as I'm saying this, if I'm responding to comments and stuff like that, if I'm on Discord, I'm doing it all just over my cell phone. I'm not going to bring my laptop with me for Christmas, right? Like that doesn't really make sense to me. If I go to spend time with my family, I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm not going to be on my laptop. Anyways, yeah, so I'm recording this in advance, so that's why this comes off like a little weird, but hopefully you guys all had a great Christmas. It's weird for me to be talking about Christmas when it's not even, like, it's weird for me to be trying to wrap up Christmas before it even started, but that's what I'm going to try and do here, folks. I'm going to try and wish you guys all had a good Christmas, and right now I'm wishing that you all are going to have a good Christmas, and when you watch this, I'm wishing that you had a good Christmas, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So now that I've sort of bumbled my way through that, let's keep going. I'm going to have to go up here so I don't get attacked, because we're like right in the danger zone here. I don't know about the aggro on these mobs. I'm just going to try and avoid them. I thought this would be a cool little area to do. I haven't mined out here in a while. When I did in the past, I've had some luck. But again, that was many, many years back. So let's see. I don't know. This could be good. It could be bad. The loot that we got so far wasn't good, but that's just one drop. Now we got two. Okay, so this is now we're seeing something. Now we're seeing something. Let's drop again. Let's also check those deaths. I've got to get better about doing that. So we got 526 and 633. So this is sort of like a pretty good area for me. This is like right in my finder's range if the depth sort of holds true. And generally, I think out here the claims are a little bit deeper. So if you guys are thinking about coming out to this like continent to mine and you're on Calypso, just remember, like, I think it tends to be a bit deeper out here. There's not as many like areas that are geared towards newbies. The mob levels tend to be higher, just everything like that. If you're a new player, Calypso is probably like Calypso is a good planet, but you don't want to be on this continent. You want to be on they don't even call them continent names anymore. It used to be you could drop down here and see the continents. I forget what the name of this one is, but you want to be on this continent basically. So yeah, the way it used to work is Mindark had different maps for the planets, or for the planet of Calypso. You had one for this, one here, and then these were all their own little maps, and you can see they like combined them, and that's why you get such this weird look right here. This is a very, very weird look to have. Like it doesn't look quite like a map. It looks like a very unfinished map, unfortunately for Mindark. But it is what it is. But yeah, it used to be that each map was like its own little it was its own little like planet in a way, right? Like you'd have to switch maps to get there. Like you'd have this drop down right here and it'd give you a list of everything. Now the drop down's used to switch between planets. So like when planets came out, Mindark just sort of mashed the two maps together, and that's why you get sort of the atrocity that you see here. Just a little bit of a cool fact there. I mean, I know a lot of the stuff about like Entropia and the history of Entropia and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, I can tell some stories. Alright, let's go get this mineral resource here. But yeah, overall this continent does seem to, it used to have like the higher markup stuff, or at least that's what I used to use it for. Nowadays, the markup on a lot of these stones and ores and matter has just been dropped to the point that it's not quite worth hunting for the markup anymore, and that's why I don't mine here as much, because it's a little bit harder to find your claims. I mean, I think out here you're more likely to hit a global, but if you're looking for a global or a Hoff, I'd say just go to Club Never Die, because there, like, that's, like, you amp up, and that's all you're going to be hitting, if you hit anything. High risk, high reward. It's the same thing out here, but a little bit less risk, a little bit less reward. Calypso, you get a lot more, like, smaller claims, but you're more likely to sort of hit that break-even mark, but less likely to make a huge profit. Also, this whole continent is PvP. A lot of people don't realize that. It's all a PvP zone, really. So, like, anybody can attack you. It's just nobody does because it costs too much to kill players. Ooh, we got a big one over here. Look at that. Level 79. I don't know if I'll ever be able to take that level of mob. But you guys know my theory. I think mining by mobs like this is sort of more profitable. I'm not sure, though, if it is or not, because I think this is an area where not many people go. Ooh, so we're on a land area now, but let's keep dropping. I don't know what let's see what the tax is here. Mining tax is 3.99%, a little high, but let's try and make a go of it. Let me zoom in here, just see what the borders are. Yeah, we can just sort of run down the border, because the mobs here are way too high level for me. Yeah, a lot of these land areas are sort of, like, not abandoned, but they're just not useful anymore. It used to be land areas were sort of akin to planets, but Mindark wasn't making a ton of money selling them. I mean, they were making, $18,000, $20,000 a sale, which is pretty crazy. I mean, that's like a new car, but for a company like Mindark, that's not huge amounts of money. And with the planets, they're talking about huge deals where they're able to bring in more content, get someone else to do the advertising and everything like that. So they sort of started focusing more on planets than they did on land areas, which sucks if you owned a land area, because that just means you were sort of left out to dry. I mean, that's one of the unfortunate things that you'll see in Entropia Universe. There's a lot more of just sort of, sometimes stuff gets sort of forgotten, just because I think it's a small dev team, and they're doing an amazing job. Like, stuff goes down, even if it goes down at night. Like, they've got guys on it. It's nice. We got a small. I'm gonna drop again just because a small's a pretty decent size. So there might be something a little bit tiny hiding. It's only a 1 PD drop. It's a little bit of a probe there. We didn't find anything, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, like the guys behind Entropia Universe, they do some good work. Like they're working with a small dev team. They're doing the best they've got, the best they can, and I can't complain too much. Let's not get too close to this guy, because he is definitely gonna attack me, and I don't want to have to end up on this land area's like teleporter, because the land area revives are always the worst ones to wake up on, because usually you don't have any of your basics there, so it's really easy to get stranded. If you're a new player, always pay attention to that. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go to a land area, they'll fly in, get out of their ship, or get killed, and now their ship is stuck there. They hit the recall, but they're in a revive where there's no storage. And if there's no storage, the problem you run into is you have no way of getting your ship, you have no way of getting transport, so people get stuck in these land areas until they can get a friend. Sometimes people ask me, I'm always willing to help you guys out if you're stuck, but until they can get a friend to like come out and save them, which, it's fine if you're in an active society and all that, but sometimes it's just like a bad time, or you're in a different time zone, and it's really hard to get people online to save you, and you're stuck out in this area for ages. And we don't want that to happen. So that's why I always carry this handy little thing on me right here. I think almost every player that can buy one should. So I've got 2 chips, teleportation 2 and 1. I think I looted the L and I bought this one a while ago. But if you look, like, the markup on these things is 32 PEDs. That's a little steep for some of you. If you want to buy something that's limited, it's 271%. So this thing's like 5 or 6 PEDs. Not too much. You can buy that, and all you need is like a 5 PD supply of Mind Essence. It's not lootable in PvP4 or anything like that. You just keep the Mind Essence on you, and anytime like you get stuck in this place, you can just use that to jump out. It's so useful. And I recommend everybody sort of keeps a chip or 2 on them, just in case something bad happens. They can teleport out of there. It's something you can't get it looted. It's not like a vehicle, so it can't get destroyed. You can't get it stuck in storage. You're just always going to have it on you. Like, leave it there, forget about it, and then When you need it, it's there. Because the worst situation to be in is a scenario where, like, you're stuck somewhere and you've got no way out. Especially in Entropia Universe, because they can be, like, people forget about this, but they can be super unforgiving about that stuff. Like, you go to the wrong area and you get stuck there, it's your problem. Mindark is not going to come hold your hand and escort you back. If you contact support, they might get back to you in a little bit and say, hey, okay, we'll put you back at Port Atlantis where you belong. But for the most part, they're not. They're unapologetic about it. It's like, you went out there, you got stuck there, you got to figure this out. If you see a green dot, they're always willing to help, because sometimes, like, some of these areas where people get stuck, there's, like, bigger hunters out there. And I've been in that scenario where, like, there's a newbie stuck in an outpost surrounded by, like, Aatrox or Atrax, and they'll ask for help, and it's like, yeah, sure, like, you know, come with me, we'll either shoot you through it, or I'll spawn a car and we'll just rock and roll and drive through it, you know. Like, they're always willing, people are always willing to help, because luckily, that's one thing Mindark got right. Like, they did a really good job with transportation, they made it super cheap to get around. So once you get over that initial cost, it's very easy to drive around. Like, this car I've had since the release of vehicles. Oh, it went back to my spawn. This ship I've had since the release of space. And I've literally not burned through, like, any of it in the TT value. So, like, the ships just last forever. Like, that's one of those things you're going to buy one every couple years, probably. The newbie one that they give you right off the bat, that does decay a bit more, but still pretty slow. This is like the first one that you get for completing, I think graduating, you get it. The MK1 Explorer, I think that's it, right? Does it say here? Oh no, it just gives you the controls. But yeah, that's just one that you get for graduating, and even that thing is, it's a pretty good car. It's a little bit weird on the handling, but definitely it'll get you out of some pinches. But if you're newer, if you don't have those cars on you or something like that, like, the teleportation chip is just key. It's always good to have. Like, I recommend everybody gets it just in case something happens. And you're supporting the local sweating economy, because the only thing that sweat can be used for right now is for mind essence. So there's two types of mind essence, right? There's this, light mind essence, and mind essence. And Mind Essence, I believe, I could be 100% wrong on this, but I think Mind Essence is the one that uses Force Nexus and Sweat. It used to be used for all sorts of Mind Force stuff, especially before vehicles. It was super useful. You could spawn wormholes, everybody would go through it, you get to a nice little place, and all sorts of stuff. So Sweat and Nexus was worth a lot more back then. And nowadays, because everybody's using vehicles instead of teleportation chips, and they're using light mind essence to use mind force as an attack, it's just like, there's no skills, like, no one is buying the stuff anymore. There's just a few people buying it, and that's why Sweat's worth so little, and that's why Nexus doesn't have the markup it used to. So for those of you who don't know, when I started, Sweat was selling for about 8 to 9 PEDs up for 1,000. And if you were lucky, if you were on a good day, or if the prices were up, you might be able to get 11 or 12 PEDs for 1,000. So if you do the math, that's a lot more. You get less Sweat than you do now, but not even close. Like, if you calculate, like, how much you're getting paid per hour, back then it was way, way better. And that's because Mind Force was, Mind Force was one of those things, Mind Force was one of those things that a lot of people used to get their total skill count up. So total skills were a lot harder to get. You didn't have missions, you didn't have stuff like that. And to be in some of these societies, you need a total skill points that is above a certain level. So what these players would do is they'd buy Mind Essence, and they'd use that because it was cheaper and faster to just level up your Mind Force than it was to go and level up hunting or mining or something else crazy like that. So, you know, a lot of people were doing it, and then when Mindark said, hey, guess what, now you can go to the, where is it, somewhere in here you can buy it, or something like that. They basically, yeah, here you go, Synthetic Mind Essence. Once Mindark made it so you can get Synthetic Mind Essence, not Light Mind Essence, Synthetic, it just became like, oh, I don't need to pay for Sweat or Nexus anymore, I just buy it from the trade terminal. And now Mindark gets the profit instead of the newbies, which is good for Mindark, but bad for people who want to play for free. Anyways, let's end this here. Let's just, you know, let's see where we're at loot wise. So we started out with 25 PEDs, and We ended with 19.01, meaning we took a 6 PED loss. We've taken some losses here with these mining runs I've been recording. Overall, mining generally tends to be good, but I've just been taking loss after loss, it seems like, on these videos. But anyways, I had a good time, and I just wanted to put this out there to wish you guys all, like, that you wish that all of you had a good Christmas, or if you're I think Russians, Turkish, and a bunch of other like countries in that area, they celebrate Christmas with New Year's and stuff like that. If it's coming up, then I hope that you have a good Christmas. But for those of you who celebrated, I hope that you had a good Christmas. And for those of you who are going to celebrate, I hope that you have a good Christmas. And for everybody else for the people who aren't celebrating, I hope you had a good day yesterday. You know what I'm saying. Good vibes all around. Anyways, guys, peace.